Hello students, welcome to Don Bosco PU College online classes. We are trying our best to make teaching learning experience easy to our students. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to never miss any update.
Dear students, in the last class we have discussed the question paper of 2018 final exam. We have discussed with the questions of 1 marks and 4 marks. Now we are moving on to 6 marks questions. 6 marks questions should be answered with 200 words. So there will be 3 questions for you. You have to answer one from the 3 questions and it carries 6 marks. First question: how did Romeo and Juliet express their romantic love feelings to each other in the poem Romeo and Juliet? Most probably this is the question they repeat often. Even this time you may expect a question of this kind. So how do they express their love for each other? The 2 stanzas in the poem, one by Romeo and the other by Juliet, highlight the intensity of the love of the young lovers. Just look at the poem in your textbook. You will find that first verse Romeo is expressing his love for Juliet, and in the second verse Juliet is expressing her longing for Romeo. This intensity of love is brought out by using the contrasting imagery of night and day, black and white, bright jewel and a dark surface, snowy dove, etc. So all these are similes used by Romeo to express the love of Juliet. Factually speaking, the words bright and night appear in Romeo's praise of Juliet's brightness when he sees her for the first time in the feast hosted by Lord Capulet. You all know that Lord Capulet hosted a dinner, a party, and Romeo went there to have this party. And at this time, what happened there? He praises the beauty of Juliet, saying that Juliet is like a bright day in the night. The party was taking place in the night, and he says that in that night Juliet is like a bright day. That means she is shining. Her beauty is so bright that she is bright as a day. Romeo uses the phrase snowy dove to refer to and to distinguish Juliet from other ladies in the room. Even Romeo uses the simile of snowy dove. You all know in that dance party there were many other ladies, and Romeo says that other ladies are like crows and Juliet is like snowy dove. Romeo uses the word crows to refer to the other ladies in the room. Furthermore, Romeo compares Juliet's brightness to the rich jewel hanging down the cheek of an Ethiope seer. So he also compares that Juliet is like the bright jewel. You know, if you look at an African woman, they are dark in color. So whenever they use some bright color jewelry, how it shines in their ears, in the same way he says that Juliet was shining like a jewel in that dark night. Romeo uses these words to highlight her beauty. It also symbolizes the emotional intensity that he shows towards Juliet. So it shows also his longing for Juliet. Even Juliet is not ordinary. She also praises Romeo so much. Similarly, Juliet uses the phrase day and night and whiter than new snow on a raven's back to refer to Romeo. So Juliet calls Romeo as a day in the night, means he also is bright like a day in that night. And also she says that if there is a snow, a drop of snow on a raven is a black bird, or if you have not seen a raven, if you see a crow, if there is a drop of dew, okay, a drop of dew or snow on a crow's back, how it will shine. In the same way, she says, the beauty of Romeo shines. Secondly, she uses the word stars in the night sky to refer to Juliet, to refer to Romeo. Okay, she says that after his death, let Romeo be like a star in the sky so that he may become immortal. Literally speaking, both the meetings between Romeo and Juliet take place at night. Secondly, their meeting has to be a closely guarded secret because of the hostility and the enmity that exist between the two families, the Montagues and the Capulets. So you know Romeo and Juliet are meeting during the night. Okay, they are meeting during the night, and also they are meeting secretly, that you should remember, because they were enemies. When Romeo goes to the Capulets' party, he goes wearing a mask at night. Similarly, you know, when Romeo went, he changed his dress fully. He disguised himself and went for the party so that other people may not recognize that he is Romeo. Similarly, he promises to meet Juliet in her chamber on the wedding night so as not to be seen by anyone. This is why the word night symbolically stands for secrecy and caution that needs to be exercised in their love affair. Thus, the playwright has used the word black and night to strengthen the emotional situation. Thematically speaking, the words day and night, black and white, night and raven are used to evoke the image of death, whereas white dove is a symbol of purity, peace, and love. A raven or a black crow is considered a bird of ill omen. So, both of them call each other as a symbol of purity, peace, and love. And night is like a dark omen or darkness. Nobody likes darkness. Furthermore, when I shall die and cut him out in little stars and heaven are expressions that clearly refer to death and immortality. So Juliet says that after his death, Romeo should be cut and put in a night sky, like a star in the sky, so that he may become immortal there. He may not die. He may not be there, always there in the sky. Thus, the playwright is hinting that the secret love affair between the two rivals will culminate in the tragic death of Romeo and Juliet. It can also be inferred that probably Juliet has a premonition of their impending death because of the fatal attraction between them and the enmity that exists between the two families. Now, what is going to happen here? So Juliet is much aware that she is going to die soon. They will be killed soon. So she says, after my death, let Romeo be like a star in the sky. They know already that there will be death soon. So that if he is in the sky, he may become immortal. People may look at the sky and the star and may worship him. Thus, the contrasting imagery serves to highlight the intensity of their love. So, depth of their love. The imagery that they use, they show that they loved each other more deeply. Okay, next question of 6 marks. In spite of all the efforts, the king and his team failed in punishing the criminal. How is it narrated in the story Too Dear? So, you know that they try a lot in Too Dear. They want to punish the criminal. They try a lot of ideas, but finally they fail. How do they fail? You need to explain what is happening from the beginning of the play. Soon after the king had ordered imprisonment for life as the punishment, the ministers with great difficulty managed to find a place to keep the criminal imprisoned. You know, first of all, they wanted to cut off his head, but they could not find the guillotine. They asked French government, they asked Italian government, but they couldn't get a guillotine or an expert. They could get, but it was for the high cost and they couldn't afford it. So what are they doing now? So they are planning to have imprisonment. So they planned that the criminal should be in the jail forever in his life. They put him in it and placed a guard to watch over it. So what are they doing now? They put the criminal in the jail and they keep a guard so that he may not run away. This way the criminal spent 1 year in prison. This arrangement cost the king 600 francs a year. When the king thought over it, it struck him that the criminal was young and may live for another 50 years. The king thought, now he is in the ಪ್ರಿಸನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಇನ್ನೂ 50 ವರ್ಷ ಬಾಳ್ಬೋದು, ಇನ್ನು 50 ವರ್ಷ ಅವನನ್ನು ಪ್ರಿಸನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಖರ್ಚಾಗ್ಬೋದು. That is what the king is thinking. The king became apprehensive that the cost of keeping the criminal imprisonment for life. Therefore, he summoned his ministers and asked them to find a cheaper way of punishing the criminal. So he is calling the minister and asking, let us discuss and plan a cheaper way of punishing this criminal. We will not give him life imprisonment. We will punish him in a cheaper way. The ministers met and discussed the issue and came to the conclusion that the one way to save money was to dismiss the guard. So what can be done now? ಪ್ರಿಸನಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರೆ ತುಂಬ ಖರ್ಚಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಖರ್ಚಾಕೆ ಗಾರ್ಡಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಳ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಊಟ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡಿಸ್ಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡುವ, ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಗಾರ್ಡ್ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ನು ಡಿಸ್ಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅವನು ಓಡಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನ್. ದೇ ಬಿಲೀವ್ಡ್ ದಟ್ ದ ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ ವುಡ್ ರನ್ ಅವೇ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿಯರ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ವುಡ್ ಬಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ಡ್. The king agreed to their suggestion and the guard was dismissed accordingly. ಆ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಅವರು ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಡಿಸ್ಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದರು. However, they waited curiously to see that the criminal would do. What the criminal would do? The criminal came out of his prison at dinner time, collected his food from the palace kitchen and returned to the prison, shut the door on himself and stayed inside. Prisoner odi hodna? Illa. What he did? He went to the kitchen, brought his food, ate his food and remained inside only, did not run away. Later, the minister of justice asked him why he had not run away, as there was no guard to watch over him. They even assured him that the prince would not mind him running away. But the prisoner told them that he had nowhere to go, as his character had been ruined and the people would turn their backs to him. So minister called and asked the criminal, why are you not running away? Because nobody is there, guard is not there, you run away from the prison. But he said, no, I'm not going to run away, because I was in the prison and all the people know that I was in the prison and they will laugh at me, nobody will give work to me. Moreover, he had forgotten the habit of working, and so if he ran away, he would be forced to work to earn his living. The ministers met once more and discussed the matter seriously. It struck them that the only way to get rid of him was to offer him a pension. The king gave his consent and they finally got rid of him by offering a pension of 600 francs a year. The prisoner received 1/3 of his annuity in advance and left the king's domains. Thus, in spite of all their efforts, the king and his team failed in punishing the criminal. So ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಫೈನಲಿ they planned, even they dismissed the guard, he wouldn't run away. So they said, we better give him pension and send him out. So ಪೆನ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ವರ್ಷಗೆ ಪೆನ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಅವನಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಿಸನಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವೇ ದೇ ಫೇಲ್ಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಕಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಫೇಲ್ಡ್. ಇವನು ಅವನು ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರು, ಈಗ ಅವನಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಅವರು ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಎಣಿಸ್ಬೋದು ಅವರ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫೇಲಿಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತಂತ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಸನ್ನಿ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್. ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ಫೇರ್ ಇನ್ ಲವ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಾರ್. How do you substantiate this statement relating to the attitudes of Donna Laura and Don Gonzalo in the play A Sunny Morning? What is the meaning of the question? Everything is fair in love and war. Means ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಓಕೆ, ಓಕೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಸರಿ. Even if you fight with each other, if there is love, everything is fine. A Sunny Morning presents the story of Don Gonzalo and Donna Laura, who were ardent lovers in their youth, but they were torn apart in life by fate. They are now in their 70s. The very lovers meet as total strangers unexpectedly in a park in Madrid. As the play begins, Donna Laura is seen in the park feeding pigeons with breadcrumbs. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, when play begins what happened? She is feeding the pigeons. Then comes there Don Gonzalo. It is at that point an old man enters with his attendant. The old man is none other than Don Gonzalo, who is seen to be quite irritated as he finds no bench in the park vacant. Quite grudgingly, he comes near Laura and shares her bench. Laura gets infuriated. So first of all, they are fighting. In the beginning itself, they are fighting, both of them. As the old man has scared the pigeons she was feeding and calls him an ill-natured man. With her witty remarks, she makes him tongue-tied and helpless. But after a few moments of disagreement, both of them have a pinch of snuff and reconcile with one another. First ಏನಾಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಫೈಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆದರೂ then later on they reconcile. Peace ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅವರ ನಡುವೆ. Gonzalo says that he is from Valencia, and to surprise, Laura reveals that she is from Maricela. Gonzalo is startled by the revelation, and he says that he knows a woman named Laura Lorente who lived in a villa there, who was perhaps the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. Both Laura and Gonzalo realize that they were the very same young lovers once, but they pretend not to reveal their identities. Though both of them have changed a lot physically, they still cherish the memories of their adventurous youth. So, they know each other there, that the other is Gonzalo and the other is Laura. But they don't reveal, they just reveal their love, what they had in their younger days. Though initially they appear to be cynical, fussy and ill-natured, soon they become friends. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಫೈಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅವರ ನಡುವೆ, ಎನಿಮಿಯಾಗಿ ಅವರು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ನಮಗೆ, ದೇ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. When they discover that they were lovers once in their youth, they relive their romantic meetings as before and pretend not to recognize their earlier selves. ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಅವ್ರ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರು ತಮ್ಮ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಮೆಮರೀಸನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಚೆರಿಷ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದೇ ರಿಕಾಲ್ ದೇರ್ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಮೆಮರೀಸ್. Like young people, they live in a dream world of their own and are reluctant to come back to the world of reality. They tell atrocious lies to defend their previous actions and exit with the promise to meet the next day. ಅವರು ಲೈಯನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಫೈಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಅವ್ರ ನಡುವೆ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಇತ್ತು, ಮತ್ತು ಅವರು ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾಳೆ ಪುನಃ ಭೇಟಿ ಆಗೋಣ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ, when there is love, fight and war, everything is okay, fair in love. Okay, next we'll leave this question, that is reading the passage and answering. Every year you will have a new passage, so there is no use of doing this passage. And after that there is a poem and reading. Let us go to the grammar part. Complete the following by filling in blanks using the right form of the verb given in brackets. This is your active and passive voice. You look at this question. Once a murder dash in the kingdom of Monaco. This has taken place in the past, so you have to add was or were. Remember, once a murder was committed, okay, in the kingdom of Monaco. The committee was forced to look for ways to punish the criminal. Finally, the punishment was given to him. Is the answer. Because this thing has taken place in the past. Question number 27. Report the following conversation. Don Gonzalo, that bench over there is mine. Juanito, 3 priests are sitting there. Don Gonzalo, rout them out. Have they gone? Juanito, still they are talking. Please see that you work out all the reported speech from the Don Gonzalo lesson. Most probably they ask from that lesson. So Don Gonzalo, first of all, what he says that, or said to Juanito, that the bench over there was his. Mine becomes his. His become was. Then Juanito informed him or said to him that 3 priests were sitting there. R becomes were. Don Gonzalo ordered him to rout them out. Your father asked him whether they have gone. Have they gone is yes or no question. So you have to add whether or if. So whether they had gone. Whether they had gone. Whether they gone becomes they had gone since it is in past. So Juanito replied that they were still talking. They were still talking. Are becomes were. Next question. Complete the following dialogue. Student, good morning sir, introducing himself. How can he introduce himself? So what is his name? Any name, you can keep any name since it is nowhere mentioned the name. Good morning sir, I am Vivek, for instance. Principal, yes, what do you want? Student, I have passed SSLC in first class. May I know what combination I could opt for, or may I know which combination can I take? Or please tell me the combination that I want to choose, that I can choose. Principal, giving suggestion. Now the trend among the bright students is to take commerce. So he is giving a suggestion. You can give a suggestion as science, but in the next sentence you see there, student, no, I would like to join science. That means principal has to give him the option of commerce. So student, no, I would like to join science. Principal, okay, you can come and join tomorrow. Student, thank you very much sir. Oh, thank you sir. So very easy conversation part. Don't miss 4 marks. You can easily attempt this question. Next, fill in the blanks by choosing the appropriate expressions given in the bracket. Now these are idioms and phrases. So after the arrival of the old man, the owner of the garden became lethargic and sheered away from hard work. Then gradually he was addicted to adultery and other vices. His wife became helpless and had to put up with him. Put up with him means bear up with him. Sheered away means ran away. Fill in the blanks with appropriate linkers. Rufus Okeke came back to his village after the completion of his bicycle repairer's apprentice from Harcourt. Dash he wanted to help and guide his people in the coming elections. Why he came back? Because should be the linker there. Then he supported PAP with all his heart and soul, but had to change his mind in the end and vote for both the parties. You know the lesson, you know the story. Accordingly, you need to add the linker. Next, read the following passage and make notes by drawing and filling in the boxes given below. This also each year they ask a new passage for note making. So I will not be doing it. Next, write a letter of application in response to the following advertisement appeared in Deccan Herald dated 25th of May 2018. Wanted sales manager, qualification any degree with computer knowledge, fluency in English and Kannada, experience preferred. Apply within a week to the executive manager, Bindu Home Appliances Private Limited, PB Road, Chitradurga. Address is given to you. So see that you mention this address in the to address. So how will you answer this letter? First of all, you need to write from address, that you have to mention just XXX and YYY. Then after that, leave one line, write the date. You have to write the date as 5th May 2021. You can't write in other ways. I have told you already. Next, after that comes to address. To address already they have given here. The executive manager, Bindu Home Appliances. This address you have to write. After that comes salutation, that is respected sir or madam. Then subject. What is subject? Request for the job of sales manager. Okay. Then go to the body of the letter. Then at the end, you are faithfully, thank you, not thanking you. Again, for this exam, you are mentioned thanking you. That is the wrong way. So, thank you, yours faithfully, then signature. Then go for resume. For resume you have 2 marks. Close, don't miss out resume. Resume you have to write your SSLC, PUC, degree and your post graduation marks or whatever extra course that you have done, that marks depending on your the job that you are applying for. So please study those things properly to get 5 marks. So here there is speech writing. Imagine that you are the general secretary of your college union. You have to introduce the guest in the annual day function in about 100 words. Her personal details are as below. Name Mr. Vedamurthy. Native is Davangere. Education is MA English, KAS 2008 batch. Served as a lecturer in Chitradurga. Then present Assistant Commissioner, Food and Civil Supplies, Bellary. Here you have, either you have to go for speech writing or you have to go for report writing. So speech writing, here there is a pattern which you can remember, or the pattern I have given you one. Annual day is first president of the function and principal of the college. See, most of you this time you have directly started the speech without introducing, without addressing the gathering. That is very important. Addressing gathering is very important. If it is not, they are going to lose 1 mark. Please see that you address the gathering. President of the function and principal of the college, Professor Dayananda Saraswati. PTA Vice President, Mrs. Neena Gupta. Special invitees, parents, staff and students. You know how many people are attending for an annual day. It depends on the speech they are going to ask you. Sometimes they may ask you to write a speech on the occasion of sports day. They may change environmental day. But they might give you introducing the chief guest. Most probably they will give you, because usually they ask that question every year. Sometimes, rarely they have asked like give a speech on environmental pollution, safeguarding trees, etc. So you should be ready to answer any type of speech if you go to attempt speech writing. Otherwise, you should be thorough with the report writing. So annual day is a day of joy. It is a day that records the happenings of the whole year. It is also a day that showcases the talents of the students. So there is no second thought about the day being the most significant one. Matching the significance of the day in knowledge and experience is our chief guest, Mr. Vedamurthy. True to his name, he is the very fountainhead of knowledge. Coupled with his knowledge is his fine flow of the English language, as he is an MA in English. He is of KAS 2008 batch. After having served as lecturer in Chitradurga, he now works as Assistant Commissioner of Food and Civil Supplies Department, Bellary. He has already endeared himself to the people of Bellary because of his amiable and helpful nature. His contributions to the field of education are tremendous. He has started a guidance center which helps students avail of government scholarships and government funded research projects. Today he will address us on the topic all that you have is now. Let us hear it for Mr. Vedamurthy, our esteemed chief guest. Next we shall move on to the last part of this question paper, that is you have to go to the report writing. So following bar graph represent information about the migration of people from rural areas to cities during 2000 to 2015. Using the data, prepare a report in about 120 words. So in 2000 how many have migrated from the villages to the cities? In 2000 how many? Around 28%. You will see the bar graph here. 2005 how many? Nearly 30% have moved. In 2010 they have moved around 50%, and 2015 they have moved around 60%. So depending on this graph you need to write the report. So ever since the world became industrialized, you are first write the heading from villages to cities in search of greener pastures. That was the heading they have written, or you can just simply write I am going to report on the movement of the people from the villages to cities from 2005 to dash till which year you have to mention here. Ever since the world became industrialized, there has been a steady exodus of people from villages to cities. Exodus means movement. The graph is proof of this distributing phenomena and shows an increase in the number of people coming to urban areas from rural areas. In 1970, 11 only 20% migrated from the countryside to the cities. In 1980, the percentage rose to 30. Even in the next 2 decades, the same increase continued, and hence in 2000, the increase went up to 50%. This trend is owing to the misconception that the people can make easy money in cities. It is also owing to the false notion that city life is easy and full of pleasures. Very often, people go through pathetic hardships in cities, but they don't go back to villages because either they feel ashamed to do that or they have nothing left in the village to go back to. The government should study the problem and take appropriate steps to curb the inflow of people into the cities, as it is against the development of both cities and villages. Next, Rabindranath Tagore. Now you have to go to pronouns. Here, they have not underlined the pronouns. So Rabindranath Tagore in poem Who Praised the Lord, who refers to here Rabindranath Tagore praised the Lord not to remove all obstacles, ask for strength to bear them. Them means obstacles. Obstacles means sufferings. Before the start of the Mahabharata war, Arjuna was seized with the emotional weakness. Therefore, he refused. He means here Arjuna. Arjuna refused to fight the war. But Lord Krishna rescued him by giving emotional strength. So, rescued him means who? Arjuna. Next, rewrite the jumbled segments to form a meaningful sentence. That is 7,000. In Monaco, there are only men. So, there are only 7,000 men in Monaco. That is the correct one. So, please spend time and work out some question papers so that it will be easy for you. You just hurry up in answering questions. Even the jumbled segment is very easy, but even then you will make mistakes. See that you put the first subject, then the verb, then the predicate when you frame such questions. Okay students, we have done with 2018 question paper. Thank you.